Havana Club Especial versus Bacardi Añejo Cuatro. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Which one's the best? Let's find out. Welcome back, rum fans. Now, recently, I've been focusing quite a lot on kind of the Smuggler's Cove categories. Category 3, which is kind of blends of rums. And actually, mainly the rums I've been featuring are kind of an English style of rum. However, I wanted to flip things up in this video. I wanted to kind of focus on column still rums of actual kind of a Spanish style instead of an English style of rums. Now, just for clarification, while Martin Kay in the Smuggler's Cove, you've got to buy this book, you've got to get it. Why he does sort of is a category in there, he doesn't reference it with numbers. So the aged variation of this is category 4. That's what he classes, bearing in mind the blended ones are category 3. So me personally, when I reference it in the Discord community, I class this as category 4A, with category 4B being the longer aged rums. So for instance, this category 4A, I kind of reference at 3 to 5 year old in this category. His category 4 would be kind of like 5, 6, 7, 8 year olds, whereas the longer aged ones would be kind of 10, 12 year olds. So for this is kind of 3 to 5 year old. Now, we'll be honest, there's a lot of, especially behind me, there's a lot of white rums that kind of fit in this category, but there's also quite a few gold ones as well. Now, you know me, you've got used to me by now. I don't just faff around with 2. I've actually picked 4 rums from this category to go head to head. But this is the main battle. Which one is going to win out of Bacardi and Havana Especial? But the other 2 rums that are coming out to play in this video, I thought I'd take on Barcelo because, let's be honest, it just sits on the back of my bar without doing too much. So that's from the Dominican Republic. But then I thought, I love the Carta Blanca. So let's go Rum Cubay, the Carta Dorada, proper authentic Cuban rum. So I'm going to be doing pretty much standard thing. I'll flash Mummy Barman up on screen now. Bearing in mind I haven't made them, so I'll edit this. So Mummy Barman will be in here swapping these all about for me to do a blind tasting. I'm going to talk to you about the price in a second, the price comparison. But we're going to do a neat tasting, Coke. I'm going to bring ginger into the equation for this one because quite a lot of these will get served with ginger ale especially. So Coke, neat Coke, ginger, daiquiri, and then I might, if I fancy, if I've got enough, another traditional serve with this would be kind of like a traditional lemonade. I'm not talking about Sprite, I'm talking about Victorian kind of lemonade. So I think I've got a bottle, I'm going to kind of rock that out. So before we get into the taste test, let's do the first test, if you like. It's not really a test, but it's just in the interest of clarity, the prices. As always, this is logged out, so no discounts or anything. This is logged out master of malt prices, pretty much my go-to people in the UK for getting all this stuff. First off, Havana Especial, $19.99. I think you might be able to get that a little bit cheaper in your supermarkets. I didn't look at any of them. I say this is Master of Malt, online ordering. So nearest down at £20 for Havana Especial. Bacardi 4-year-old, £22.89. I've not really seen that in supermarkets, to be fair. I don't know, but have a look around. So £20, £22.89. Barcelo is £22.99, so nearest down at £23. So literally 10 pence split in those two. But then the one that is more expensive is the Rum Cubay, £26.80 on Master of Malt. You definitely won't get that in the supermarkets. Now, just in a little bit of clarity here, these are pretty much distributed by big players. So hence the prices are quite cheap. They are really easy to get hold of in the UK. Rum Cubay is distributed by a good friend of mine, a lot smaller company. They haven't got the volumes to really bring it down in price. Not only that, from what I've tasted as well, they are really good quality. So this will be interesting for me to see whether this does essentially stack up to a £6 more expensive than Havana. That's what I personally want to get out of this video. How does this stack up to that? But for the rest of you guys, it's going to be that versus that, I think. Interestingly, and this is the difference with Havana, and there's something else I've got to say as well, just before I kind of dive in there. Havana, this one is kind of marketed as their rum and coke, where Havana 3-year-old is marketed as the daiquiri kind of rum, the mojito rum. Havana Especial is marketed as the Cuba Libre. So, you know, that's kind of where Havana sits in this. The other thing I want to tell you as well, I knew that this video was coming up. I've had this scheduled in now for about 3 weeks. I haven't tasted any of these rums in at least, well, probably a good month at least. It was over a month ago that I shot the Cubay video. Now, well over a month ago since I've done that. So genuinely, I have no idea whether I'll even be able to pick out the Havana, bearing in mind I know Havana's quite dry. So this is going to be really interesting. I'm going to taste them all now, and then I'm going to try and make this video as short as possible, just to kind of run you through the results. So let's get into the first test, sipping neat. You'll have hopefully already seen that I've tried these, so I'm just going to run you through my results here and what I found, my very quick notes in here. 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st place there. Visible difference between those two and those two. Those two were a lot sweeter than those two. I'm not sure I could pick what they are. I've got a fair idea of what one of those is. Actually, if I'm being brutally honest, I would expect that to be Bacardi and Barcelo down there. Not sure which one, but that's what I would expect. These two, again, there's nothing wrong with sipping them neat at all. They're really nice. They're just markedly sweeter than what these two are. For the first place one, smooth, complex, nice sort of warming kind of vibes. I would expect that to be Havana. If I'm being honest, I think that is potentially Havana. But the second one, I think maybe Cubay. I'm not sure. I'm pretty convinced that's Barcelo and Bacardi. That's Havana and Cubay. But which way around it is, I don't know. The second one, I put lovely, kind of smooth vanilla notes coming out to it, but pepper. But that was my favourite one. I did enjoy sipping that neat, whichever that is. So let's do the reveal. So in 4th place, number 3, Barcelo. Okay, in 3rd place, wow, okay, number 1. Just so you can see that down there, completely got that wrong then. So that's Havana, just to kind of show you that, that's number 3 there. Wow, completely got that wrong. So, which one was that? Sweeter, I put viscous. My words here are viscous. That's way sweeter than what those two are. Interesting. Okay, that's blown me away completely. So in 2nd place then, number 2, Bacardi Cuatro. Wow, Rum Cubay, number 4. Can we see that? Number 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, interesting. Rum Cubay wins that neat. Fair play. Right then, the second test, the Coke test. Worth noting here, if you had any of those as a rum and coke, you wouldn't be disappointed. Even my least favourite one out of the 4 was pretty decent as a rum and coke. These rums are definitely suited, out of all the drinks I've got here, these are definitely suited to rum and cokes. Really, really like them, but I still got favourites here. So quick little points to tell you. This was purely in 4th place because for me there was less going on in the drink. It could have been any rum and coke, a decent rum and coke, but there was not much going on in there. 3rd place, I put a little bit, so this, bearing in mind this would have been against the 2nd place, a little bit harsher, but still decent. So quite kind of sort of like a peppery bite on the finish there. But the top 2, the first one I put lovely rum and coke, rounded, so smooth, would have a session rum and coke on that. And the second one I put sweet, kind of vanilla vibes going on there, lovely. That's what I put. So the reveal in last place, bearing in mind I would still happily drink that. If that was on offer, if I was at a party, I would happily drink that. But for me, the worst out of the 4. In last place, number 3, Barcelo. Okay. In 3rd place then, wow, number 1, Havana Especial. Bearing in mind, wow, bearing in mind they market that as the Cuba Libre, the rum, wow, okay. Holy hell. So in 2nd place then, number 2, Bacardi, which means in 1st place again, number 4, Rum Cubay. Interesting. That's identical to how it was neat. That's identical to how it was neat. That order: Cubay, Bacardi, Havana, Barcelo. Right then, the third taste test is the Daiquiri. Now, just before I quickly dive into seeing what these are, I just want to tell you that I'm not happy with any of those as a Daiquiri. I certainly wouldn't have that. And it's a bit weird. What I said at the top of the video, where I thought the white rums in this category, they won't be too dissimilar. This goes to prove that they will be, because I know there's 2 or 3, like take Florida, for instance, in there. Would knock spots off any of those as a Daiquiri. And all right, Florida I would expect to be a little bit better. But Ron Cubay, the Carta Blanca, in this category as well, is a hell of a lot better than any of those. So there's at least 2 white rums there that I would knock spots. Just very quickly going to these tasting, there was a big divide between those 2 and those 2. Those I wouldn't even finish them. If I paid money for them, I wouldn't even finish them. I was just not happy with those at all. Harsh, not well balanced. Meh, I put that one. I was getting really cloying honey vibes off it. Just not a fan of that at all. I put for more bite to it for that one. Brighter. This was the second one I tasted, so more bite to it than the first one I tasted. Brighter, a bit cleaner. Okay, and then this one I put a bit sweeter. Okay, clean, crisp. There, that's what I've got. So let's do the reveal for this. I generally have no ideas. I would expect Havana to be up here this end. I would expect Barcelo to be, I don't know. Right, let's get into it. In 4th place. Wow. Number 1, Havana. Wow. Not happy with that at all as a Daiquiri. Wow, that shocks me. That's so different to the Havana 3-year-olds. That's sort of in the same category as a category. That just goes to show you, when we talk about different rums, there's Smuggler's Cove categories. Even if you stick to a rum in that category, it's going to give you a different kind of thing. Havana 3-year-old gives you 10 times better Daiquiri than what Havana Especial does. Wow. Interesting. So, 4th place there. In 3rd place, number 2, Bacardi. Number 2. Wow. Okay. That shocked me. So one of these is Barcelo has won this. I'm going to be shocked. Wow. So in 2nd place then, number 3, Barcelo. Wow. So all right. So where are we? Number 4. Number 4, Cubay. Ron Cubay has won that again. Bearing in mind, I say win. I'll take the win on that. I still probably wouldn't finish it. I would take it back to the bar and say, have you got the Cubay Carta Blanca? Because that, it was the best out of the 4, but Now in the 4th taste test, we've got ginger ale, Canada Dry, Schweppes Canada Dry. That's kind of what we've gone there. By complete contrast to the Daiquiri, all 4 of those, I would quite happily pay money for. I would quite happily, if you served me that at a party, going around yours on a Friday night, and you serve any of those up as a rum and ginger ale, I would quite happily finish it. All of them. They're really, really good. I still have got a favourite, but even the 4th place one, I would put the 4th place one still 10 times higher than the 1st place Daiquiri. That's how much suited these are to rum and ginger ale. So notes, pretty similar notes, clean, crisp for that. I've got, for the 1st place, nice, refreshing, smooth, enjoyable to drink. In 2nd place, clean, crisp. The 3rd place one, I've got the honey vibes going on again, but still pretty decent because the honey and ginger kind of works quite well. And then the 4th place one, I've got more rummy, probably not a session kind of ginger ale, but still decent. So basically what I'm saying is I would quite happily have 3, 4, 5 of those, but maybe just 1 or 2 of those. So, right, without further ado, in last place, still a decent result, is pretty decent result. Number 3, Barcelo. Fine. In 3rd place, number 1, Havana. Havana's not having a great draw here, is it? Wow. Okay. In 2nd place, Bacardi, number 2. Wow, hang on a minute. Number 4, Ron Cubay. This is turning into a clean sweep for Cubay. Cuban rum. Well, Havana's Cuban rum, but I'm loving the Cubay. Now, for the fifth and final test, I am going for kind of this, I kind of call it traditional Sicilian lemonade. Now, caveat, I do quite like that. It's quite nice. I do like my bitter lemons. I've always loved kind of bitter lemon. That sort of vibe, traditional lemonade. I do really, really like it. Full disclosure, I've never, that I know of, had it with rum. Full disclosure, I probably wouldn't have it with rum again. Those two were terrible. Absolutely terrible. I would not be touching them again. You know, I've just put, I put meh, weird aftertaste, okay, that actually not too bad, less offensive, with the best of the bunch up there. But whatever these two are down here, as I say, I do quite like it. I do not think, and I have seen, the only reason I went for it is because I've seen this on Bacardi's social medias, Barcelo's social medias, and actually Havana, from time to time, I've seen a traditional lemonade kind of served. So, you know, they do kind of tout it, but just not for me personally. Right, so let's go for, I've just noticed I can see the sticker on that. The sticker's moved, but that's right at the side. Number 3, Barcelo. I've just noticed that. So in 4th place, number 3, Barcelo. Right then, in 3rd place, Havana. Wow. In 2nd place then, number 2, Bacardi. And then, wow, hang on, number 4, Cubay. Wow. So to sum up this video, this is really, really easy. To sum up the title is Bacardi better than Havana, Havana Especial better than Bacardi. There's only one winner of that battle, and that's Bacardi. Hands down, leaps and bounds. All right, it came 3rd in one round, but in every other round, it came 2nd. I think I've got that right. So, and that came bottom in a couple of... Wow, I'm probably going to upset quite a few people with that, but I'm really, really sorry. My palate is way more suited to Bacardi over Havana. However, the caveat is that has smashed it every single category. 1st place, 1st, Cubay, that's, yeah. If all five taste tests, the Rum Cubay, Carta, Dorada. Yes, what was the price? £26. So, see, like Master and Malt prices, and you're going to have to get this online. Yes, it is nearly £7 more expensive. For me, though, and my palate, I would quite happily pay that for that over that. Even though you can pick that up from most supermarkets for ease, I think that's the one I've got to go with.